Hi guys, I'm Mombi, and in this video I will give you a quick overview on how to choose the right course format for your online course or online content. So you've been thinking of creating a course and you most likely have a dozen or more options, and all of them are useful in their own way. So how can you choose? This is one of the struggles that I've had, and I've heard of many other people who have gone through when thinking of creating a course. Personally, I've taken several online courses and most have been on videos, but I've also subscribed to memberships and downloaded some ebooks and articles. So, how do you decide on what to choose? Is it video, is it audio, written, or live? When selecting your format, there are three primary considerations. And the first one would be your buyer or your customer or targeted audience. Chances are your ideal client has a clear preference in format. And this is why it's very important to know your avatar or who your ideal client is, as it will always help you understand what format will work for them, amongst other things. Some people love watching videos, while some prefer to skim through written instructions. Some people learn best by doing with a checklist as a guide, and still many others prefer to have audio so that they can be able to listen to your course while they're doing other things. The second thing to consider is your content. So let's face it, some information lends itself well to certain formats and it simply will not work in others. It's difficult to explain how to use software, for example, without screen sharing, right? So that would be video format. And by the same token, if you're asking clients to work through a discovery process, then most likely a fillable worksheet is what is going to be the ideal format for you. The third thing to consider is your comfort zone. While your biggest consideration should be your clients and their needs, your preference matters as well, because this will also affect how you deliver your content. If you're not comfortable with video, then it's a safe bet that you'll always procrastinate getting your course done and stress over it unnecessarily. By the same token, if writing is not your forte, trying to force yourself to create 50 pages of content is going to be very, very frustrating. Beyond the obvious format choice, you also have to consider how you'll present the material. And again, you have a variety of options. One of them is email delivery. In the early days of online courses and online content, a lot of them were text-based, for example, via email. This is perhaps the simplest method of e-course delivery because all it takes is an autoresponder set to go out on a schedule that you choose, and a series of messages with your training material are delivered to your customers. You can also include attachments as well, although maybe your delivery rates might suffer, or you can link to a page where buyers will find more resources, such as downloadable files. In this day and age, this format may be more appropriate for free courses, but when it comes to premium content that students are paying money for, then students will probably prefer other formats like video. Please note that emails can also be excellent in addition to video courses or memberships. Another format to consider is audio. Personally, I'm not a big fan of audio-only content. However, if this works for your audience, then this could be fine. For example, if you run a popular podcast and your audience are really engaged, they're used to getting information from you in audio format, then you can incorporate some learning or a course into the podcast. Just remember that it can be very easy to convert your audio files into video. You can put together some images, some text and slides to go with the audio. For example, you can easily do this on Canva to make it a more engaging presentation. Remember that approximately 65% of people are visual learners, and that is a scientific fact. Another format you can use to deliver your content is zip file downloads. If your e-course is small or you're not too worried about overwhelming your buyers, a zip file download is a viable option. In this case, you simply set up delivery through your shopping cart by providing a link where buyers can download the entire course. This format works best if your course does not include a video element, because downloads could be really large for those with slow internet connection and it can take forever. Other downloads can be Excel sheets, workbooks, PDFs, checklists, follow-along guides, as well as images. Video is another format that you can use for your online content. I would say video is the gold standard, accompanied by other downloadable material. And there are different types of video courses. One of them is talking head videos, where it's just you, the instructor, in front of the camera. For these, you could use your computer or your mobile phone, or if you want to be a little bit more advanced, you can use a camera or a webcam. Another type of video is slide-based videos, where you can use PowerPoint slides, Keynote slides for those with Macs, or you can actually create slides on Canva. You can also create screen recordings for your courses, especially when demonstrating something that you need to share your screen or to show on the internet. Personally, for these, I use Loom and Camtasia for screen recording, and both have been working really well for me. A more sophisticated option for delivery of your content is setting up membership portals where buyers can log in to retrieve their material. This gives you the option to deliver the content all at a time if you prefer, and it also allows you to better protect your content from unauthorized access. In a membership site, you can combine different types of formats to deliver your course. For example, you can have video, downloadable material, and in other interactive formats like quizzes. Something to consider when creating your course is whether you want your program evergreen, meaning it's always available, or to have a start and end date. If you want to start on certain days, then you need to decide how often do you want to run your programs or your courses. Is it once a year, 2 or 3 times a year, or every month? And also, how long will your program last? Please note that if your program is evergreen, then you probably will need to have an incentive for future students to enroll, because what happens when you think you have time, you procrastinate. So it could be something like limited time bonuses that you're going to give that will motivate students to enroll. Another thing to consider is, do you want all your course material to be available at once, or will you unfold your content step by step, also known as drip feeding content? This is something else to consider. So we've talked about different formats that you can use to create e-courses. We've talked about emails, videos, audios, downloadable files, as well as interactive formats like having a quiz, and what you need to consider when deciding the format to use. The bottom line is, when you're planning your e-course, your most important consideration is your buyer. What does she want? How does she want it delivered? Do that, and you'll be well on your way to launching a successful course. Down below, I've put links to all the software mentioned in this video, and I'll also put some of the platforms where you can use to create online courses like Podia, Thinkific, Groovefunnels, and Teachable. Personally, I've used Groove and Thinkific, and they're both great platforms. So I hope you found this content useful, and if you have, please subscribe so that you don't miss out on future posts. I look forward to reading your thoughts and your comments.